Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're going over the characters from this legendary fighting game franchise that waltz right into WTF territory.
We have a common enemy and a common goal.
On your feet, this battle is not yet over. You will fight!
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Erron Black.
You won't touch him again.
An Earthrealmer switching allegiances and going full out welder is certainly a fun basis for a new villain, sort of like the second coming of Kano. And while there's nothing wrong with Erron Black given how much he obeys the rule of cool, there is something odd about seeing a straight up cowboy show up in a fighting game. Yes, even alongside all the hellish creatures, this gunslinger ripped straight out of the 1800s still feels out of place. How do you take down a god of thunder in a tournament? Easy, just whip out your revolvers and get blasting.
Erron Black wins.
Dark Kahn.
Face each other or face me. It makes no difference. You will fight!
While NetherRealm Studios would go on to fine-tune Mortal Kombat as well as their take on the DC universe in their Injustice games, one of their earliest attempts wasn't quite up to snuff, that being Mortal Kombat vs DC Universe, with the big bad being a fusion of both Shao Kahn and Darkseid. And he looked ridiculous. The game was very PG coded, which meant they had to adopt a more comic book take on the characters, which in turn left the final antagonist looking like a mixture between a lava monster and some guy in a rubber suit.
Superman wins.
Nitara, Megan Fox version.
That blade's enchanted.
Recently, Mortal Kombat has been doing their best to add more nuance to some of their less developed characters, and given the multiversal nature of Mortal Kombat 1, this was the perfect platform to experiment. Unfortunately, any development this vampire may have had was swept away due to the choice of voice actor. No matter your views on Megan Fox, there can be no denying that her performance was notably below the rest of the cast. Probably not the second life they were hoping for Nitara.
I simply needed to capture enough beings to breed them. Once they multiply, Viternus will have a limitless, renewable source of food.
Floyd. Gag characters are nothing new to Mortal Kombat, though out of all of them, we don't think there's been one that's both elusive yet flashy like Floyd. Finding him in the first place is no easy feat, given that you can only challenge him after beating 10 unseen random challenges throughout the course of your playthrough. If you succeed, Floyd will make his debut. Much like Chameleon, his skill set contains techniques used by the other masked ninja, and is known for being excessively punishing. We love a Pink Floyd reference as much as the next person, but you'd think after all that effort we'd at least get to unlock the fluorescent fighter for ourselves. No chance. Monster.
I have been sent to protect the Nexus from trespassers. Your presence has defiled this sacred place. Leave now, or face my wrath.
This guy has appeared once throughout the entirety of MK. It was only for a single battle, there's been no mention of him since, and you can't even play as him. It's all kinds of wild. Declaring himself as the true champion of the Elder Gods, players must battle Monster during one of the later sections of Deception's story mode. Whether he was the chosen one or not is never brought up again, on account that he vanishes as soon as you beat his ass. It's an interesting concept lost to the annals of MK history, even if he was just basically a reskin of Scorpion. the Rai Cho. While these days he's a well-established character who makes the occasional visit as a DLC fighter, back in the day, this drunken fist master was a bit excessive when it came to using his bodily fluids during combat. If he wasn't vomiting all over the place, he was setting his farts on fire to incinerate his opponents. Naturally, as the series matured, this was toned back in favour of more conventional fighting techniques. Good thing too. Can you imagine maining a fighter who barfs his way to victory? No thanks. Drahmin. By the time Deadly Alliance rolled around, the developers obviously wanted to push the envelope of some of their inhuman characters. Thus we have Drahmin, a living, decaying corpse demon who attacks with balls of flies and has an iron club. Even for the Netherrealm, that's all kinds of bizarre. It certainly amped up the horror level at the time, but as it stands, he's now devolved into something of a nothing burger of a fighter, one that has yet to get an awesome redesign. He also had barely any combos during his debut, leaving him as a rotting pile of wasted potential. Meat. One of the oldest and most beloved joke characters in the franchise, Meat has gone through a few iterations over the years. From a bloodied skeleton all the way to what appears to be a freshly skinned man. Meat certainly doesn't skip out on the gore factor. Throwing cleavers, using his own blood to slide along the floor, even rolling his severed head as a projectile. It's obvious shock value that would have sent paranoid parents into a frenzy back in the day. But aside from a few cameos here and there, his days of sinewy combat are firmly locked back in the older MK era. Given how intense the fatalities are these days, his existence has been practically rendered moot. Mokap. Motion capture performers are essential when it comes to capturing the authenticity of movement in characters, especially when it comes to fighting games. No one is disputing that. However, having one be a fighter in Mortal Kombat, the franchise known for cyborg ninja and guys with bladed hats, might have been a step too far. First introduced as a secret character you have to go out of your way to unlock, Mokap's fighting style is as generic as they come, with the only appeal for playing him being the absurdity of trying to take on literal gods as a stuntman covered in markers. The alternate universe fighters. No matter your thoughts on Mortal Kombat 1's narrative, you have to admit that its climax went balls to the wall. In order to stop Shang Tsung from essentially destroying the multiverse, Liu Kang gathers heroic versions of every fighter to aid in the conflict. While that might sound like standard fare, what follows isn't so much a clash of duplicates as it is a gauntlet against some of the craziest combatant combinations you could ever hope to see.
It's a bad call to battle a megastar.
Fight.
Seriously, the randomly generated fighters you can face all look like they're either from some faulty character creator or straight up Mortal Kombat fanfiction. We're talking about the likes of Quantum Chi, Lizard Queen, Fire Cage, Clockadile, Johnny Savage, and so many more. Which of these combatants left you scratching your head in confusion? Let us know in the comments.